Good morning. Good morning. It's Monday, September the 6th, I think, today. It is Labor Day weekend. Let's see if anyone's going to join this morning. People may be away. It's a beautiful day here in Victoria, British Columbia. So welcome if you're new to my Facebook group. Welcome. This is what I call a very important person group. This is a group of stampers who have liked my business page and who have wanted to join this private group, because this group allows people to craft together and have a little chit chat as we go along. So if you'd like to join this group, you can send me a private message. And I can send you the link to that, or you will find it on my business page. So my business page is called From Me to You Paper Crafts. So you can do a search on Facebook and find that, and then you can join the group from there. And I welcome anyone who loves to craft. So every Monday morning, even though this is a holiday, some holidays I do skip, but every Monday morning I do a Facebook Live where we do a card sketch. So today's card sketch is going to be a fun one. I love it when there are strips of cardstock. So I will hold this up. So this is the card sketch, and these card sketches are by Dawn Griffith. She is an American Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and she has a series of card sketches, and I've decided to use those because she does a wonderful job. I've been following Dawn for years and years and years. She's got a wonderful, wonderful crafter and a great sense of humor. She giggles a lot, which I love. So if you saw my post on my business page yesterday, you would see the sketch, and I encourage you to create, get your materials out, pick a stamp set, pick some inks, papers, etc. Cut out all the pieces that you need, and then we kind of put it together. So, and I give you other ideas and options along the way. So we will get started. So today I've decided to use our Tidings and Trimmings stamp set. This is actually in our annual catalog, and you can find that on pages 88 and 89. So I'm going to turn my camera down so that you can actually see the catalog pages, and then we'll get started working on our card sketch. Now, while I do my Facebook Lives, I have a camera mounted above the desk here, just up here. And then to my left side, I have my iPad in a stand so that I can see what I'm actually doing to make sure that my hands are within the video view and that I can see any comments that come through. All right, so as I said, this is called Tidings of Christmas. It's a suite of products, and you can purchase the entire suite by using one item number, and it's $78.75 Canadian. And it includes this beautiful stamp set here. It's got some Christmas stockings and some stars. It's got lovely greetings. I love the bow, and then there's some foliage that you can work with. And it also comes with a set of dies. So here's the stamp set, Tidings and Trimmings. And it is a photopolymer stamp set, as you can see in here. And then it has a set of dies, which I will show you. Here they are, they're tucked under here. And I've taken some out already because I'm going to be using them for this set. So here are the dies. So here's some really cute foliage. Here's the bow that you can cut out, the stockings. And then there's some really unique stars. There's also this star here, a large star. And then there's another intricate star. So you get a large and a small outline, and then you get a small and a large intricate. And I'm going to show you the intricate die because I now have it sitting. It's been cut out on some beautiful gold foil paper. So just to remind everyone, it is Celebration Month this month. It started in August. And so with every $60 purchase from either the annual catalog or the new holiday catalog, you can start earning products for free. And Stampin' Up! Has this little brochure with all the free products in there. So if you're new to me, I am really happy I will to send you a catalog. You just have to private message me and I'll get the catalogs out to you. because now is the time of year to start thinking about all of the holidays coming up, Thanksgiving, Halloween, and Christmas. And if you love to make cards or you like to make gift packaging, now's the perfect time to start thinking about that. And if you're new to paper crafting and you're kind of wanting to get started, then I can help you with that. I'm just a phone call away. Okay, so here we go. So along with this set, you've got the dies, as I said, and then you've got this beautiful ribbon. This bundle utilizes some of our new in colors. Soft Succulent is this light green color, and this beautiful Evening Evergreen. So this is the Evening Evergreen ribbon, and it's kind of a braided ribbon. It's a beautiful ribbon. It'll be great on tying up packages and doing some fantastic bows as well. Okay, so there's the ribbon, and included is a pack of 6x6 designer series paper. And it's got beautiful colors in here. We've got the 2 greens again, and then they've brought in what's called cherry cobbler. So I'll just flip through here and show you some of the patterns. So I've already cut into a lot of them, as you can see. So you've got lots of really fun patterns in here. And I think there's 6 sheets of each. I love this one because it's got the 2 greens and that beautiful cherry cobbler. And I love this dark one too. And then there's some cherry cobbler in here. And we're going to use this one today, a whole bunch of little trees. And I love this one too because it's got the holly in there. And then if you reverse the paper, you've got some real simple patterns. So you can coordinate, you know, maybe a heavier design with a lighter design. So here you've got a bunch of snowflakes. This one I love, it's stripes. I love stripes. Here's another stripe. Here's this beautiful Evening Evergreen. It's a really dark, rich green. So perfect for where we live here in British Columbia. Soft Succulent. This is called Sahara Sand. That's another color in the set. So there you go. Okay, so let's get started with my card sketch. I've already pre-cut a lot of my papers. So I'm going to be bringing in my trimmer to do a little bit more cutting. So if we start with the card sketch, we've got a card base. I decided to do this Evening Evergreen, this beautiful green. So this is cut 5.5 by 8.5. And I'm going to score this at 4 1/4. That's my center fold at 4 1/4. Okay, so that'll make my card base. And this is a landscape, what we call a landscape card. It's going to stand up like that. If you turn it, then it becomes a portrait card. So 2 styles, 2 orientations, portrait and landscape for card making. Okay, so on top of this, I am going to put a piece of, I've already cut it out, a piece of the Soft Succulent. Look how beautiful these 2 greens go together. So this Soft Succulent piece is cut at 4 by 5 1/4. And I decided to emboss it. We've got some wonderful embossing folders. So I decided to use this Tasteful Textile embossing folder. This is what I'd call a generic folder. You could use this any season. It just provides kind of like a linen look to the cardstock. It's just a real subtle background. So I'm going to put that on the card. And before I mount that on the card, I'm going to decide as to whether I'm going to put some ribbon across here or not. Let's see who's here. Oh, Joan is watching. Good morning. And Barbara. Good morning, ladies. Isn't it a gorgeous day? Absolutely stunning day today. Okay, so yeah, see this strip? This is, you know, could be a piece of cardstock or it could be a piece of designer series paper in the back. But I was thinking of maybe doing a couple of strips of ribbon there instead. So what I love about card sketches, as I always say, is it gives you somewhere to start, and then you can start changing it up as you feel. You can add ribbon, you could add vellum, you can emboss things, you can stamp things, You can add extra texture with embossing paste, all kinds of things. Okay, so these are the two strips that I want to cut right now. So we've got this and this. And often when I'm doing card sketches as well, the other thing I like to do is I go to my little scrap bag here. So whenever I cut my designer series paper, all of these little bits that are no longer 6 by 6, I put them in a little bag, and I always come back to this bag to think, well, is there anything in here that I can use on this card? Because that's a good way of using up some of your scraps. So do you ladies have a cup of coffee? Is anyone crafting along with me? Let me just take a sip of coffee to clear my throat a little bit. I haven't really talked much this morning. My husband's already gone out to Home Depot. My daughter asked him to make her a coffee table, so he's gone out to get supplies. He'll probably be starting that today. So I haven't really chatted much this morning. Okay, so let's cut these pieces. So these pieces are, this piece here along here, if you want to cut cardstock, this is 1 1/4 by 5 1/4 right across here. So again, you could look in your scrap bag, and if you have a piece, see, this piece might work. Might need to be cut a little bit more narrow, and you want to think about reversing your patterns. And then I found that I have these pieces in here. I've actually got 2 of this color here, or I could, excuse me, I could reverse it and use this instead of doing this. So that's what I mean about changing things up. All right, but I want to cut these pieces, these that are indicated in black. These are 1 1/2 by 3 1/2. Now, when I cut my paper, especially if it's got an orientation to it, see, these are trees, I like to think of cutting it so that I can keep pieces for another project. So because this is 1 1/2 by 3 1/2, rather than cutting 1 1/2 and 1 1/2 and then cutting them off, you'd end up with these little chunks of paper, which, sure, they can be used, but to me it's a little bit of a waste. So I look at the other measurement, 3 1/2. So if I cut this down to 3 1/2, I end up with this long strip that I can then use on another card, like a portrait mode card, landscape that I'm using today. So that's what you want to do, is look at your measurements and look at your paper. So I'm going to chop this off at 3 1/2. Okay, so here's my 3 1/2 piece that I need, that I'm now going to cut into 1 1/2 inch strips. And then this piece I can use on another project, so I'm not really wasting much paper. Okay, all right, so let's cut these down to 1 1/2. So this is 1 1/2 here. And this is 1 1/2 here. Okay, and this is a fairly good sized chunk that you can use for another project as well. But this is all we need for this project. Okay, so we'll put this away. So I like to sort of put my card together a little bit. So I'm going to bring out my bone folder and give this a burnish so that the card lies a little bit more flat. Okay, so this will go on top of here like this. Okay, and then we've got something, this wider strip. I might do 2 strips like this, or I might bring in my ribbon. I'll ask for your opinion. I like to get some opinions here. Barbara, you've got coffee this morning. You're just relaxing. That's good too. I do that often with a cup of tea in bed, and I sit and I watch Facebook Lives or other YouTube videos just to gather ideas. Okay, so this is not really doing much for me. Now, if I flip them over, you end up with a bit more color with the cherry cobbler. So I should see if these two matched up when I cut them originally. No, they don't, so that's okay. Or I could do 2 strips of ribbon instead. Oh, I could do ribbon on top of that. Ooh, I think I kind of like that. What do you guys think? I could put ribbon right on top of that. That adds some visual interest. And then these strips are going to go on here like this and like this. Okay, and then there's a circle in the middle here. So it's one of these dies, and I'm not going to worry about measuring. I'm just going to pull one out and just decide if that's going to work. Yeah, I think that's just about right. Okay, so I'm going to cut this from a piece of, now I don't even know if I'm going to use white. So let's have a look. So first of all, I want to show you what I've decided to do in the middle. And I may not even do the circle, because what I did was I cut these beautiful stars. So this is the largest star, and I thought I would cut that out of the green, okay? And then this is the intricate star. Now we've got this beautiful paper. This paper is fantastic. It almost looks like honeycomb pattern, and this pattern is, this paper is called Bedazzling. It's a pack of 6x6, and guess what? It's also something you can earn for free with a $60 order. And it is so incredibly sparkly. I just love it. It's kind of like a champagne-y color. And it, look, can you see how it picks up the light here? It's just fantastic. So I've already cut this star out here. So I thought instead of the circle, and here's the die, see the intricate die here. Okay, so that goes together with this larger die. Okay, so you can use those. And then I'm going to pull this out. I've already pre-cut this. And I'm just going to get my take your pick tool and put my pokey tool on the end. And I'm just going to now poke out all of the pieces. Now I did run this through several times, because this glimmer paper is a little bit on the thick side, but I've cut them before and it should work really well. Okay, I think I have all the bits out. Look at that. And look how beautiful that's going to look right on top of that dark color. Look at that, ladies. Oh, there's a piece right here that I missed. Okay. So we're going to put that on there like that instead of the circle, I think. All right, now how I'm going to glue this to this is I am going to grab my silicone mat. Okay, I'm going to turn my star over. I'm going to grab my Tombow glue. I'm going to put a little Tombow on here, and I think you guys know that I use Q-tips a lot in my crafting for gluing. I think I'm going to need a bit more glue than that. So then I just dab all over my star. I'll get a baby wipe to wipe that up. And then I'm going to glue this on here. And I'm just going to grab a scrap piece of paper and just put that on top. Okay, there we go. There's our star. Oh, I've definitely got a big frog in my throat this morning. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? Can you see that? So pretty. Okay, so let's go back to our card base here. I kind of like the ribbon on that, a little bit of color there. I don't know. Maybe I just need the ribbon. Let's put our design back together again. Oh, maybe just the ribbon. And the star up the middle. Now, also in this set, I think I pointed it out to you, are some cute little foliage. So here's a little branch. with, they look like little berries on here. And then here's another one with some leaves on it. So what I thought I would do is pull in my cut and emboss machine. And I think I'm going to add some color. So I'm going to pull in some of my, ooh, look what I just found in my scrap bag. Piece of cherry cobbler flagged ends. I could do that on the card too, maybe in the background. Ooh, geez, now I don't know what I'm going to do. Okay, so I'm just going to grab my plates. So I need my bottom plate and 2 cutting plates. Okay, and I'm going to cut this one out in the cherry cobbler. Because I might stick some foliage out behind the star. What do you think? So there's a bit of red. And then what I thought I would do is take this little bit of foliage, and I think I'll cut some of this green. This is soft succulent. It's just a gorgeous green. I might cut out a couple of these. Sometimes these need a bit of a poke to get out of the die. See, look how pretty that is. You see that? And then let's do another one. Okay, let's put these away. I love my mini. I love being able to just bring it to my desk and not have to get up off my chair. I know it's good to get off your chair, and I get off my chair a lot. Okay, so let's just see what we're going to end up with now. Okay, let's pull in so here's our little flourish. Here's our little piece of red. Aren't these sweet? I love dies that have these little extra bits here. Okay, so maybe that's all the bit of red that we need in our design here. We'll do the ribbon, because it's part of the suite, maybe. Then we're going to do the star. And then we'll poke some of these out the back from behind. These are very delicate. All right, I'm going to put it together, and then we'll work with this foliage and see where we go from there. Okay. So, as you know, when I do ribbon, I like to use Scotch tape. So this is 4 inches. So I'm just going to put a little bit of a pencil mark at 2 inches just to find my center. Okay, and then I can wrap my ribbon around. So you could use glue dots, but this is kind of a thick ribbon. So, and I don't think there's a back or a front to this ribbon, which makes it easy to use. So I'm going to wrap this around to the back, and I'm going to put a little bit of Scotch tape on here just to hold that in place. Okay. Now I'm not too worried about gluing down the center because I've got that star to put on. Okay, so where's my little pencil marks? Right there. Okay, I'll trim the ribbon. Okay, so we're going to glue this on now. I'm just going to use Tombow glue because it's a textured piece of cardstock. Make sure, I always double check to make sure I know where the opening of my card is, because I have made cards upside down before. Have either of you done that? Okay, now it's time for our little trees to go on. Now, how far apart are these? They're a little bit closer together, so I'm just going to judge this as to where they'll go. Let's find, a smart idea would be to find our center point on here. You don't have to be this particular, 5 1/4. What, I don't even know. I have this really cool app I want to show you guys. I use this all the time because we work in fractions, right? It is called, here it is. It is called Fraction Plus. Oh my goodness, I'm getting these messages interrupting me. It's called Fraction Plus. So it's an app, and it's available both for iPhone and for Android. And so you can put in your measurements here. So this is 5. And when you want to do the fractions, you go over here. You see you've got your, if I remember my math, your numerator and your denominator, were those the terms? So 5 1/4 is the width of that. And then I go divided by 2 equals, well, something went wrong there. Clear. I think I hit another button accidentally. So 5 1/4 divided by 2 equals 2 5/8. Isn't that cool? So 2 5/8. So 2 4 5/8. So there's my center right there. So now what I can do is just sit this maybe 1/8 of an inch away from that. Okay. So let's pull out my tape. And I'm going to grab my silicone mat, but don't go into the gluey area here. So there's my center point. And I'm going to eyeball it top to bottom. Make sure my trees are flowing the right direction. There's one. Here's the other one. So there's my center mark. Make this even with the bottom and the top. The acorns are falling like crazy these days. Okay, there's my trees. All right, so now we're going to put on our star, and then we can, you know, we could even add, I'm just playing now, ladies. I could have cut some more of these out and put these on here. So I'm just going to Now I'm going to be putting this up on dimensionals. So let's just see what I'm going to do here. These are not easy to pick up. I might just do a little flourish on the left-hand side over here. Yeah, I'm just going to do a little cluster. So what I'm going to do is just arrange them on the back and make sure you have the right side facing the right way. So I'm going to throw that on like that. And then I'm going to just put them down with dimensionals. I'll put one there. I'll put one here. I'll put one in the middle. Okay, so you could have maybe glued these down if you didn't want to use so many dimensionals. There we go. Okay, there is our card. Now, if you wanted to, you could straddle a greeting across the center. If you wanted to, you could add a few gemstones here and there to add a bit more gold, but I kind of like it the way it is. What do you guys think? Kind of happy the way that turned out. I love the little sprigs. So that's our card for today, our card sketch. So see how you can vary it up. Instead of doing the circle, I did the star instead. With a little bit of embossing in the background, with a little bit of ribbon instead of the cardstock here. So the sketch gives you some ideas, and then you can start changing it up. Now what I might do is on the inside of the card, this is where I'll probably use these strips. So I'll cut a piece of cardstock. Let's see, I've got this piece here. So your inside panel typically, doesn't have to be, but typically is 4 by 5 1/4. So let's go 5 and 4 by 5. Oops, that's not long enough. 5 and 1/4. 5 and 1/4. Maybe this is already, nope. Okay, 5 and 1/4 by 4. We'll just cut this piece for the inside. And then we might put this on the inside, just to bring in all the colors. I think that would look nice. And you could put a strip of this on your envelope as well. Again, I'm using my grid sheet to line it up. Okay, and then we'll give this a trim. So you could either choose to do your greeting on the outside of your card, or you can do your greeting on the inside of the card. So there we have that for the inside of the card. I always like to tie things together. So for example, this little strip of pattern paper I didn't use on the front of the card. this piece here. So what I could do is I could take an envelope and what I'm going to do is I'm going to decorate the flap. Okay, so you could take just a strip. I've got these extra strips of paper. So I could just decorate this flap with something. Okay. I wish I could see my other silicone mat here. Let me just grab. Always have baby wipes on hand. Not only do baby wipes provide a really unique inking technique, but they're a great cleanup. That's why I have 2 sheets. Almost as if I need 3 sheets because they're always going missing. All right, let's give that a bit of a cleanup. I'll just turn it over. Let's put some tape on here and then we'll glue up this on our envelope. Here we go. So again, I'm going to use my grid sheet, line up this fold here, and then I will place this here. And then you just want to trim. There you go, and now you have your flap decorated. So you have a little bit on the, and you could put some stamping on here if you wanted. You could do some stamping on the front. Let's bring out our stamp set and see. Yeah, we've got some foliage that we can actually add to the front. So let's add, we've got time. So let's add, let's just use a bigger block instead of trying to squeeze that on this little block. Okay, now I have to go grab some inks. So we've got these, and there is fill. There's outline, the outline image, and then there's the fill image as well. So I could put this on a smaller block, and we could do some fill. So I'm going to grab my soft succulent ink, and I think I'm going to add some of these berries. So I'm going to go and grab my cherry cobbler ink. So soft succulent and cherry cobbler. So let's think about this. Okay, now again, because I'm using photopolymer stands, these clear stands, I need some cushion. So the silicone mat works as a great cushion as well. So let's do some of these. Oh, we've got, Carol has joined from Ingleside, Ontario. Welcome. Are you a big time crafter? Let's do this as if it's hanging down. So there's the cherry cobbler, and here's this beautiful soft succulent. I love this color. So here's the outline. I'll show you how. This is called two-step stamping, because you've got an outline stamp. And then you've got your fill. Now, often when I use the fill, I ink up my stamp and then I stamp it off just to make it a lighter color, a lighter shade. And then you just hover above the stamp. You need to get your head right over it. Just hover above and then press down. Okay, so ink it up again, stamp it off lightly, and then hover. You're hovering to get them lined up, and then stamp. There we go. So there you go. Look at your flap now. Isn't that sweet? It's nice to have the envelope decorated and the inside of the card. So I'm going to do this flourish again on the front in the corner. So I'll do my cherry cobbler. Actually, I'm going to do the green ones first. So here's the outline. And I'll do one more over here in the corner. We're building up this corner. Like so. We'll add our fill. There we go. And then we'll add our cherry cobbler, and then we are done. There you go. Just a bit of flourish on the front of the envelope and then on the back. And then we have our card here. All right, ladies, thank you so much for joining me this morning. I hope you enjoyed today's card sketch, and I will be back on Thursday evening for a Case the Caddy. So have a great week. Bye for now.